going on, you guys? In this video, I want to teach you in plain English, step by step, how to easily construct a weapon like this if you're playing Righteous Fire in 3.26 for a hell of a lot less than the amount that you'd have to pay on the trade site. So in a step-by-step process, let's make something like this Scepter for less, for cheap. Let's go. First thing we're going to do is identify that we have to get ourselves a +1 fire skill Scepter. And to do that, it's pretty simple to do. There's actually a vendor recipe in the game. So check this out. I've got a item level 85. It doesn't have to be 85. It has to be at least 81 for our process. So I have a level 85 Void Scepter. Now, all I did is I use a Scour Orb to make it normal or white. And then using a normal or white Scepter, I'm going to take a couple of gems with quality on them. Now, you're going to notice that these gems have the fire tag on them. You want to sell 40% worth of quality fire gems plus a white void scepter to any NPC in the game. When you do that, you're going to get back a +1 fire spell skill gems scepter. And ours is going to be a void scepter, which is really important because the void scepter has 40% increased elemental damage, which is going to contribute to our Righteous Fire damage, or it's going to contribute to your fire damage if you're looking for that for your build. So let's keep going, okay? So step 1 is done. We've got ourselves a +1 fire spell skills gem scepter because we sold a bunch of skill gems to make it. Awesome. The second thing we're going to do is create a whole different scepter that has damage over time, not fire damage over time. So you're looking for damage over time. So how do you know what that actually is, and how do you get there simply? Let me show you another service you could use. It's a website. It's going to be available in the description as well. It's called PoE.re. I'm going to walk you through this because it's kind of all over the place, but it's pretty great. So what this website's trying to do is allow you to input some formula inside of a search field as we're crafting this next scepter. And it's going to retain some data for us to make sure that if we hit what we want, it'll be highlighted, like it's pretty obvious. And you're gonna see how that works. So let me show you the idea here. It's teach their own. So I wanna see items that have either a prefix or a suffix. Ideally though, it would match an item where one's open, so an open prefix or suffix. And what that means in English is you either have a prefix or a suffix or you don't. It doesn't have both. And so the first way we're going to go here allows us to have a little bit more accuracy. We're going to hit more frequently. And the second option here is a bit more restrictive, but it's like no other steps are needed. So I think I want you to see this one just so you understand the process. So we're going to match either prefix or suffix and kind of go from there. So what do we want to do? We're looking for, he said damage over time. So as a suffix, damage over time. So not fire damage over time, but just pure damage over time. Now, these are all the different tiers. So we want a nice one, right? We want 24 to 26%. I could choose basically any of these that I want. And you're going to notice up here, this value starts to change. And so PoE.re is a regex code that we can use. Now, we're going to try this just to get going. I'm going to click copy. Once I have that copy to go back in the game, and I'm going to check out right here. It says type keywords here. I'm going to paste, Control V. Now this item is going to highlight like everything else when I use Orbs of Alteration to reforge the magic item with new modifiers. But the modifiers that it's looking for are the ones that I've selected on PoE.re, and only those ones. So let's go ahead and click through a few times and see what happens. We're looking for damage over time, and this weapon should remain highlighted if we're lucky enough making this video right now to actually hit one. I'm just going to click a little bit until we hit damage over time, any tier, as an example. Okay, pretty lucky. We actually hit a tier 1. So if I hold Alt, it is tier 1 of Dissolution. It is a perfectly rolled damage over time modifier. And so that's awesome. That's exactly what I'm looking for. Step 1 was to make the fire spell skill gem Scepter. Step 2 was to make damage over time multiplier, which is what we want. The more damage over time multipliers we have, the better our damage is. So let's go to step 3. Step 1, make a Scepter. Step 2, make a second Scepter. Make sure they're both item level 81 at least, which they are, because that's going to matter for bench crafting later. Step 3, let's go to our Recombinator. So the Recombinator, we're going to go ahead, and I'm going to put the damage over time on the left because it's more tricky to get. I'm going to put fire skills on the right. And now I'm going to click this enable unpredictable recombination. And you're going to see success is 100. If yours says something less, it means you have to select these. Don't do that one. I want you to click on the middle until it says chance for success is 100%. Now, it is going to require 10,000 gold and 24,000 dust to do this. But we're going to click recombine and see if we get this. It's not guaranteed that we get the scepter that we want. It's about a 1 in 3. So we got supremely lucky. We hit exactly what we want. We're good to go. This thing's looking fantastic. So the next step, step 4, is take this over to your crafting bench. And I want you to type in the following. This is where it gets expensive. It is going to require a few divines. Can have up to 3 crafted modifiers. You're going to select that. you're going to apply 3 crafted modifiers to your item for 2 divines. The next thing you're going to add is fire damage, okay? And you're going to see chance up 51 to 60% increased fire damage and 20% chance to ignite. This cost us 2 divine, 8 chaos so far, and a little bit of alteration orbs. So we're going to add that next, and we hit 56 and 19 out of the range. The last one we're going to add is fire damage over time multiplier for 4 more chaos orbs, 18 to 20. Okay, and now we have 20, which rolled perfect, fire damage over time. And if I check this out just quickly, what is this going to go for? Again, same kind of thing. We already know the price, 96%, crafted modifiers. And what are we looking at? This thing comes back at about 5 divine. And as you know, it only costs us just over 2 divine to make this. Those are the steps that you do to create this item. Now, there's one more thing we could do to get even more value out of it, and I recommend that we do, and that's going to be the following. We're going to go to our currency tab. I'm going to add a whole bunch of these blacksmith's whetstones to increase this item's quality. This isn't going to matter much until we do the next step. So we have 20% quality on it with blacksmith's whetstones. We're going to go to our hoarder crafting station. At the very bottom, if you type in the word quality, I'll get out of the way here, quality, and you kind of scroll down, you're going to see that you can add a bunch of qualities. So enchanting a weapon, quality does not increase its, here we go, physical damage, yet it grants 1% increased elemental damage per 2% quality for 5,000 primal crystallized life force. Crystallized life force, which again, we're still making profit on this. So we're going to click on that, we're going to add it, and there is your totally complete 20% Void Scepter base. +1 fire skills damage over time weapon that you can use to get to T16 Path of Exile 2 on a Righteous Fire character and Secrets of the Atlas. Hope this video helps you understand how to make this. Enjoy!